Okay, welcome back to Winter Talk Thursdays. So, um, there's a lot going on in the world of the New York Rangers. But the one thing that I really wanted to talk about, like really, really badly, was the trade rumors involving Mats Zuccarello. He did an interview not too long ago, within like the past few days, about possibly getting traded. I know it's not something we want to hear or even want to think about, but it's a thing that's most likely going to happen. So, in his interview, I have it written down. He said, "A trade appears to be the most likely outcome. I guess I'm prepared for it." I don't think my heart's prepared for it, but I'm glad he is. Basically, I'm just waiting for it to happen. It's a tough spot to be in, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it's a tough spot. I mean, he's getting up there in age, but then again, like, don't leave us. He also said, "I've always said that I only ever wanted to play for the New York Rangers, but I've been thinking, I'm getting older and maybe I can use a new spark. That new spark would be going to a contender and having a chance to add a Stanley Cup to his career." Still, Zuccarello admitted that it won't be easy when the day comes. It will be a very sad day, of course. I've been here for a long time and I know everyone in the organization, so it'll be very sad. But I also think that it could be a positive thing if it happens. You can get a spark from trying something new. No, no, no. Don't try something new. No, no. No, change is not always good. He's What are we going to do without him? First of all, if this actually happens, like he is the franchise, like he is one of the franchise players for our team, along with Henrik Lundqvist. Like everyone knows Matt Zuccarello, and I'm sure a bajillion teams want him too. Like he's good, but don't leave us. Like now, there's a lot that goes into question with that. It's kind of like, now what does this mean for our team? That's number one, because we all know that Zook is a really important aspect to our team. Does he know something we don't know, which is most likely the case, because obviously he knows more about his future than we do. But it's kind of like, are you preparing us for something that's going to come soon? And it's kind of like, is he giving up on us? Does he not? That I don't want to think of it that way, but that's kind of what's going through my head. It's kind of like, is he going to give up on us to go to another team? Which kind I mean, ultimately everyone wants to win a Stanley Cup, and I'm not knocking that, but it's kind of he was been in New York forever, since his start of his career, and all of a sudden now when things are rebuilding and stuff, now like, oh, a trade is not going to be the worst thing ever. But yet we're doing good. It's not like we're completely tanking like everyone thought. Like I thought, like everyone thought we were not going to do good this season. And it started off that way. Like no one, like we weren't playing well. We weren't doing what we could do, but it ended up changing. That whole situation started changing and we started racking up the points. We were second for so long in the standings. Like no one has no one had the faith in us, and we're proving everyone wrong. I mean, now with every game we still have a lot of stuff to do. Like I'm not saying we're going to win the Stanley Cup, but like we're doing way better than anyone expected. So this rebuild might not take as long as everyone thinks. So it's kind of like, why is he what's going to happen? I don't want him to leave. I know my dad will be really upset. Everyone will be really upset. My dad has a Zook jersey. What is he going to do with it? It my cousin has Zuccarello's face on a pillow. Like what's she going to do with it? So it's just really sad. Like I don't want to see him go. Now the whole team is really young. He's 31 years old, but I feel like that the team still needs that like um one steady component for to on the team. Like everyone, like obviously that's Henrik Lundqvist, but like someone that's going to be in and out like with the team, not just, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not Henrik Lundqvist is that goal, but Max Zuccarello is all over the ice. He's on the bench. He's talking to the players. So it's kind of like, who's going to step up and do that? But I have been watching recently because everyone knows that Matt Zuccarello has been nursing a groin injury, so he hasn't been playing. So I'm watching, and now I'm like, okay, who's gonna step up and be kind of like the captain, because everyone, including myself, thought Zook was gonna be captain. I wanted him to be captain. I would have made, like, the campaign posters and everything if he really wanted to, but now who's gonna be that person? So I think for us, the next best thing would be Kreider. And now Kreider was that person that I was looking for to see who was gonna talk to the players, who's gonna be all over the ice, who's gonna be talking to the refs, like, who's gonna be doing all of that, and Kreider was that person. Kreider's also 27. He's not a lot younger than Zook, but, for the Rangers is not even that young, but, it's younger than Zook, and he is the leading scorer for the team. He leads with 21 points, and I think Mika Zibanejad and him are actually tied, but, when you're looking up leading scorer or leading in points, it's Kreider. He comes up. So, are we gonna now? Is it gonna be Captain Chris, or are we still rooting for Zook? I don't know. I just don't want Zook to go, and then I think that's what's happening. But it really seems like he's going to, and I think we all have to prepare for it, because the way he seems, like, he doesn't seem like he doesn't really seem strong about staying. Obviously, I don't even wanna know the teams that are reaching out for him, because they're probably one of the best teams, because some of the best teams, because he's so good and everyone loves him. But then again, like, who's gonna be the next franchise player? Like, who's gonna be the face of the team for us? No one's really happy about it, like, everyone on Twitter and stuff and people that I follow, like, no one wants to see this happen. It's gonna be a really sad day, like, if it does come. So, I don't I don't know, it's a really, like, sore subject, I think, for everyone right now. It's kinda like, how much exploding do you wanna do for the team? Like, how much do you wanna get rid of, almost in a way? But now it's like, d is Zook asking for this, or is it, the people in charge? So, that's also, like, what we kinda have to figure out as well, even though, he doesn't really get much say, but, I'm sure he gets some. But, yeah, so I'm gonna stop talking about that for a second, because, if I keep going, it's gonna be really not good. So, I'm gonna bring up the lovely Ranger Islander game that happened, last Wednesday. So, if anyone, I'm sure all the Ranger fans know what the score was, but it was a 5-0 game. We got a shutout. Not only did we get a shutout, it was Alexander Georgiev's first NHL career shutout. Now I know what you're saying, like, "Oh my god, why was he in net?" Lundqvist chokes every time we play the Islanders. I don't wanna hear it from I don't wanna hear it. He does. Like, look at all the past games. Like, there's no record of him doing well. So, I was super excited when I saw that, Georgiev was gonna get the start, considering the first game of the season that we versed them was just not good. So, there was fun it's funny, an Islander fan was sitting next to me, and, I hear him say, like, "Oh, like, I wanted Lundqvist in net, like, it's like having Swiss cheese in goal." And he's not wrong. Like, I was like, I wanted to agree with him, because it's so true. Georgiev was a brick wall during that game. Like, he really, like, did not let anything obviously, he didn't let anything in, but the saves he was making, he was quick, he was already always ready to go. He stopped he stopped amazing shots. So, I was just ecstatic. I went with my dad, my brother, and my 2 friends, and one of them was the Islander fan, and it was so funny. My one friend, a Ranger fan, kept every time we scored, which was a lot, 5 times, threw popcorn at him, like, just a handful of popcorn, and oh my god, it was so funny. We were just abusing him the whole night. But yeah, to win against the Islanders on home ice, yeah, there's really nothing better, and to get a shutout. It was yeah, the fans were getting rowdy. Who's yelling at like a 15-year-old kid? Like it's one of those like really rowdy, intense like games. Like everyone is just angry and wants to win. So obviously since the Islanders are in New York, there was a lot of Islander fans in the audience, which I wasn't a big fan of, but whatever. We still won, so that's all that matters. So, yeah, then so that was Wednesday, then Thursday was Thanksgiving, and then that Friday we played Philadelphia. Um, and that did not turn out as well as the Wednesday game. So we won 5-0 on Wednesday. Then we lost 4-0 on Friday. So the Flyers, everyone knows that the Flyers are going through it right now. They're doing a they're getting rid of a lot of people. They just fired their GM and their assistant coach. Like, they're going through it and they're not doing well in the standings. Um yeah, they're like all the way at the bottom. So like I kind of went into this game thinking like, okay, like this is going to be okay for us. No, absolutely not. We got outplayed, outscored. Their defense was on us like it was ridiculous. Like we couldn't even get into their zone. Like that's how bad it was. They were so good that game. I mean, I can't say that for the rest of their games, but like for that game, they were amazing. And our team just wasn't. We weren't there. I don't know if it was a food coma from Thanksgiving. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it was just not good. Um, Believe it or not, Henrik Lundqvist to me was like the only player that actually showed up and knew they were playing hockey. So even though we lost by 4, it was not all of it was Lundqvist's fault. Like there was no defense, there was no nothing, no nothing. That was literally what it is. There was absolutely nothing shown for that game. So, um, mm, yeah, I was a little bummed. Thank God I was putting up my Christmas tree and I had like Christmas music playing. That was making me like so happy because like if I was really intensely watching this game, I would just be so annoyed. That just would have ruined my mood. So I'm kind of happy I had it on mute and I was listening to Christmas music instead. But after that, the next game was against the Washington Capitals, and we lost again, 5-3. Now, it's not even that I was upset that we lost against the Capitals, because it's the Caps, but like those 2 back-to-back losses really brought us down in the standing because we were in second place. And then it dropped us down like 2 spots or something. So that's the only reason why I was so mad because of where it brought us because we were doing so well. But the standings are very close. No team is ahead by a lot, meaning like the points are within 2 or 3 of each other. Like it's not even that drastic. So every point matters, every game matters. So yeah, that was where my frustration was on that. But then we played on Monday against the Senators, and it was Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Super important. That night was they wore the purple Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys. I don't know if you watched my last video, but that's what I was wearing, like the warm-up jersey. So I was really excited that we won. Again, it was against the Senators, and that's Mika Zibanejad's old team. And yeah, it just makes it so much better to win on like a Hockey Fights Cancer Night. During that game, though, Elias Anderson got his first goal, NHL like career goal, like NHL goal. First goal of the season. Yeah, let's go with that. First goal of the season. So that was really exciting. And then, but Nemestikov got a concussion. So that was like the downside of it. So Mats Zuccarello and Nemestikov will not be coming on the road trip because we kind of have a little bit of a game like road trip coming up, and they're not coming, which is kind of sad because again, if this Matt Zuccarello trade rumors are very true, I kind of want to see him play for us as much as he possibly can. But like he's injured, so it's nothing I could do. But yeah, I'm kind of upset. I want all the players to be healthy, but that's not the case all the time. But so we'll see how they play tonight against the Senators. But Yeah, that's all my rambling for today. Thanks for the people that listen to me ramble all the time. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks.